Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Hearthstone Mercenaries video, I want to talk about Nagas in PVE. So I finally managed to get my tasks done, and so I've been able to go on with the Naga comp and really see what Nagas are capable of, because there are 6 Nagas now in the game, so you could in theory fill your entire party with Nagas. But I have to say that these Nagas are not pirates. Pirates are actually pretty sweet. You will have to mix and match your comp depending on the needs of each encounter when you're playing with pirates. So the problem with pirates is that they can't really carry much other mercenaries alongside them, but they are able to finish off just about any bounty. And with Nagas I discovered that that is not the case. Nagas have some advantages, in particular in Darkshaw and in Sunken City. During the climb there are lots of encounters where, for example, both sides Nagas get buffs. There are lots of encounters against Murlocs. Nagas are very good against Murlocs thanks to Slither Spear. So Nagas have a pretty good time climbing Darkshaw and Sunken City. But when you get to the tougher boss fights, let's say Heroic Kresh, then Nagas just cannot deliver. They are able to beat some of the heroic boss fights. I have a couple of heroic boss fights in this video, but overall Nagas they're just a little lackluster, so they're not something that you should really focus on when you're trying to build some PvE comps. But let's take a look at the individual Nagas. First of all, we have Tidemistress Atisa, and Tidemistress Atisa is one of the stronger Nagas, especially Riptide. Deal 10 damage to an enemy. After an enemy attacks this turn, repeat this damage. So after any enemy attacks, the target of the Riptide keeps taking more damage. I first thought that this would be used like Yulon, so I was planning to use Clutching Hatred and have the Riptides deal more and more damage, but in fact Nagas lack control. You don't have a lot of freezes, like Shek'zara has a 2 cooldown freeze, you don't have any taunts, so it's just really difficult to control where the damage is going. And that's why I found out that Tidemistress Atisa, actually Warlord Voyage, is by far the best equipment for Atisa. And having that Taunt Naga, even though my Voyage equipment is only level 1 because I didn't spend coins on it early on, but it will come around of course. But even in its current state, this is already really crucial piece of equipment that really helps keep your Nagas alive. And then we have Shek'zara, the Sea Witch. Shek'zara is okay, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. Because Witch's Curse, okay, it deals some damage, it helps attack of people who have already attacked, so it has some upsides. Then Freezing Touch is situational, but it can be strong. Freeze a character, they're immune while frozen, they deal 10 damage to your enemies when they lose frozen. 2 cooldown is pretty hard on that one though, but I have used it several times to rescue somebody, so if fight goes to the 3rd turn, you can often like Freezing Touch some of your own characters and then save them and then deal damage to the enemies. And as for Shek'zara's equipment, there's really 2 contenders. There is the Serve Shield, which is going to deal additional damage, and then there's the Upstart Acolyte. Passive gives health to Shek'zara, and whenever a friendly character is frozen, freeze a random enemy. Because I often freeze friendly characters with Freezing Touch, okay, that's pretty sweet, but of course that's only something that happens every 3rd turn. But that passive plus health has actually been probably more important, because Nagas are quite fragile, and Shek'zara is fragile if it doesn't have Upstart Acolyte equipment, so just increasing the survivability of Shek'zara seems to have been more useful to me than adding damage to Witch's Curse. The centerpiece of the Naga comp is rightfully Queen Azara. Shifting Tides, that's a whole bunch of damage. Mage Paramount, well, that's full of bugs at the moment, but in theory it would be some spell damage and some resists. And the pretty sweet AoE ability, Vainglorious Rebuke, which actually deals a lot of damage. 1 cooldown, Shadow ability. Azara's only Shadow ability, and it's on a cooldown. As for Azara's equipment, I'm using Salatat. Passive, whenever you cast a Shadow ability, restore 6 health to your characters. Azara has Shadow ability, Shek'zara has Shadow ability. Those are the only 2 in a full Naga comp. So I think there's a lot of potential for Azara also to go into Shadow comp. That's probably where Azara will shine, and I expect Azara to be very, very useful Merc, even though Nagas as a comp are not that stunning. I also tried with Tidestone of Golganet, and okay, that makes Azara pretty big, but Azara doesn't have any direct attacks, so Azara can't really use those stats other than for defense. And just having Azara being big and not being a target doesn't really help, something else is going to die. So I found that Salatat is clearly the best equipment for Queen Azara. Then we have Lord Slither Spear. Lord Slither Spear is one of the strongest Nagas. So probably the 3 strongest Nagas individually are Atisa, Azara and Slither Spear. Because Slither Spear, You Lift Bro is a phenomenal ability. Gain +5 attack. If you control another Naga, gain +5 more attack. So that's +10 attack and you get to choose the target. And then next turn, it's another +10 attack and you get to choose the target. So Slither Spear is actually dealing quite a lot of damage. I'm using Fishy Cauldron as the equipment. As a +4 attack, this Merc always does critical damage to Murlocs. Critical damage to Murlocs is hilarious, by the way, when it comes to Darkshore, when it comes to Sunken City, when there's a lot of Murlocs around. So very strong, especially in those encounters. Slither Spear also has enough of this trash. Destroy a minion without triggering its death rattle, deal damage equal to its attack to all enemies. And that can be a powerful ability, and sometimes you might even want to use Sharp Idea as your equipment so that you are able to do enough of this trash on regular basis. I was much less impressed by Slithering Rage. That hasn't been that useful at all, but you lift, bro, and Slither Spears just slamming into some blues. That has been very, very strong. Then there's Lady Vashi with basically Electrify and Reflex Shot. Handmade as poison, not useful in many of the occasions anyway. And Icy Grasp. Passive, your Naga take 2 less damage until they act each turn, and that goes up to 4 once it's fully upgraded. So Lady Vashi also has some upsides. Thing is though that in PVE, because the player always wins speed ties, then that means that like Vashi herself, 5-4-5, there's a lot of enemies that are acting like 6 speed, 7 speed. So you get less value out of Icy Grasp that you could, but on the other hand, the other abilities just aren't that interesting anyway. So yeah, Vashi sometimes does a fine job, probably a little bit more PvP oriented, because PvP there's a lot more fast speed going on in there, and in PvE, slow speed opponents, Vashi's toolkit just doesn't get to shine as much. Finally, there's Phantom Lord Karatrash, who I consider to be the weakest of the Nagas. Tidal Strike, okay, summoning Phantom cards, but Phantom cards don't have Rush, they don't have Taunt, they don't do anything immediately, so they're actually not that great. Cataclysmic Bolt, deal damage to the lowest health enemy. With Hullbreaker equipment, it can also deal damage to adjacent enemies, but it will have a cooldown. Hullbreaker still looks like the best equipment because the other equipment is not useful like at all. And Blessing of the Tides, gaining a little bit more attack, but on a cooldown doesn't do anything on the turn when you gain attack, so not a very strong ability either. So Karatrash overall has just been very disappointing. And that also means that there's like no budget Naga comp. Like you can do really well with budget dragons, Yulon, Nefarian, Sinestra, 3 rares. There are 3 rare Nagas, but while Atis and Slither Spear are fine, then Karatrash is so underwhelming that that trio just does not make the cut. Overall, I have used a wide variety of openers when I've been climbing with Nagas, because you do have that 2-2-2 roll spread, so you're able to quite flexibly choose what you use. Atis and Azara is probably my go-to, sometimes like Azara, Slither Spear, Vashi, Slither Spear especially against blues, but there's a lot of flexibility there. And if you wanted, you could also probably cut at least Karatrash, so you could put something else there. You might even consider something like Yashurash or Lich King. Those would have shadow abilities, they would synergize with Azara, but then we of course come to the question that okay, why don't you just build a shadow comp with Azara and those shadow mercs instead of having Nagas at all? Because adding any of those shadow mercs to Naga comp really just relies on Azara's Saladat equipment. So overall, Nagas are not really worth the effort, they're not worth focusing on, but if you want to just especially have fun with some climbs in Darkshore and Sunken City, because their toolkits are very good for those areas, then you can play with Nagas. And I have a bunch of gameplay material for you, showing how to do some of the fights during the climb, and also showing some of the boss fights, including that Kresh fight, for which Nagas are really not that great. Anyway, this is what Nagas look like in action. So I guess we need to go in with a comp like this here. Time to lift, bro. All Nagas are very fast. Either does it may want to kill that one. Maybe I could have killed the Puppeteer first with a bod like this. Might be something to it. 3 speed, Vainglorious Rebuke. Well, that kills that one, but doesn't quite kill that one. I'll need to electrify into that so that I can lift Bro there. If Mercenaries will do in correct order. Oh, they do. Because very often they don't nowadays. Now I don't have the Riptide buff, but this could still be enough. We'll go in with these. Now we have the Parish. A small Parish, but Parish nonetheless. And then we do a small Riptide into that. I will start blasting at these. If that was a little bit bigger Parish, it would be a little better, I suppose. Not sure if it really matters. Then we have the 3 speed AoE, 13 damage. Doesn't even kill that one. Well, still what we've got. And that means that I will have to Riptide this one, right? And I'll have to Witch's Curse that one. So like this. So we get the heals. See, Saladat, the power of Saladat. This would have been dead without Saladat here. And now I can freeze this. That's actually already killing that, but anyway. So we're able to handle like the double Battlemage Commandant in a reasonably clean fashion. I believe in the Parish. Yeah, I really need to upgrade that piece of equipment. That seems so incredibly crucial. Now it has a little bit more health though. They have they haven't upgraded their Makara either. Look at that. Do you mean you're not going to update your Makara? Hi Shweni, what is Patreon? It's a platform where you can subscribe to content creators. The most well-known such platform in the world. And Riptide works fine even without upgrades. So definitely the Parish equipment is the right one. And the question after that is more like, then what next? Looked like Mukla's big brother. Yeah. But I was planning to use this like Yulon to snipe greens, which is why I upgraded the Riptide equipment. But that didn't turn out to be necessary. And the boss is a Murloc. So I guess we'll go with the red and green. Let's give this a try. Enough of this trash time. Yeah, that's also possible. I think. Oof. Those crits. Those are some pretty solid crits. Just kill that one. Could also just kill it with these. So I can wave crush there. I don't even need to do the trash thing. We didn't get to do the trash thing. Because they just died. Yeah, no taunt, so I cannot control. I have no control. That is annoying, not having control. I might not be able to kill Kresh. Okay. Kresh is taunting up and taking all the damage for him to himself. Yeah, I just can't do this actually. I will not be able to do this.
Swim back from whence you came.
Kresh just takes all the damage. Yeah. Was not very impressive. Now they're all coming in with the cleaves. Oh noes. Try to Riptide there, but this will not work. I can get another Naga out here.
Job's done.
Yeah. Supposed to do some special strategies. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying. Like I did it with pirates. Killed Kresh first time. Killed Popsicle first time. Killed Popsicle second time just to be sure. I mean, I was able to kill these left and right, these bosses with pirates. Everything went, but the Nagas are clearly much weaker than pirates. Kresh is going to turtle again. No. So I just can't do anything. I really needed to get rid of these ads that I can't. Dear. Joe Kazagosi Ashurash. Ez ott Cookie Cornelius. Yeah, and Kresh protected this one. Of course it did. This can't do anything. This could attack, but it doesn't even damage Kresh. This will have to freeze Kresh. Then I will freeze this one instead. Work on saving it. Too bad I don't have that Saladat. Let's try to hit that Kresh. We'll see, we'll see. Oh yeah, true. They do say so. I cannot freeze the character. The characters cannot be frozen because of the ads. More healing, more cleaving, more mending. I just can't kill the Kresh, right? I think I can. Really need to get rid of the ads. I think I have to try to attack into the ad. I think I have to try to take that ad down. Still, it has to be that one. We got one ad down. Now this ad starts to cleave. No. And Kresh will protect it. Which means that I don't have anything left. That will start cleaving and Kresh is protecting it, so I can't handle that. Dead next turn. 30 damage to all characters, yep. And I can freeze Shek'zara. I don't think it will help. Because Kresh is protecting this. Cleave attack comes and Kresh keeps protecting. No. There's nothing left. Yeah, well, Nagas can't take down heroic Kresh. Not very easily anyway. But I think I will try the greens. Get on the praying mantid. They're not going to be attacking much. I might try Garrosh, see if it does anything. Let's hope this doesn't taunt T1. Sometimes it taunts. This time it doesn't. This one roots at 5 speed. That one chain lightnings. Well, we're going to electrify. But I also have the treasure. After an enemy takes bleed damage, heal all your characters for the same. I actually want to bleed it. Right? Get a chunk of healing going. But I want you lift bro into that one. Also start dropping some cataclysmic bolts out there. Not sure if it really does anything, but I expect this one to die, but stranger things can happen. Yeah, it died. This one's also quite likely to just die. Or something that doesn't die. We'll bring this in anyway. And we'll bring it... We'll bring it over to this side. Get the Warlord in the middle. Chain Lightning again. Gain attack equal to a nature damage attack an enemy. Oh, adjacent enemies, I forgot about that one. This one's coming in first anyway. 7 speed ability. This won't live to 7 speed, right? Maybe needed to position it differently. Not sure if I can get enough bleed in either. Well, this is actually going to be 30 to 60. 64 damage. I need another like 50-ish. That's 38. That's not 50-ish damage. What is 53? There was probably a way to solve this one. I just couldn't figure it out in time. Actually, it will work out, right? Now that's deciding to taunt up. More captive tides. We can do another bleed over there to get some more healing again. Alright. We're actually making it. Well, sometimes. A little hectic. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.